We humbly bow to you all. Divine Mother, we deeply thank you for the many blessings that you give to us. Inspire us again and again to share your grace with souls everywhere. Bathe this world in your light, your joy, and healing power. Om Shanti Shanti. Well, it's a joy to be with all of you, those of you in person, and of course, all of those that are online. People very often, now that we have been here at the Non-Seclusion Retreat for nearly a year and a half, and the time has flown. What was the transition like? And basically, there's been no transition because you're all in our hearts. And the seclusion retreat, we've always considered Little India. And so as much as we would love and hopefully before too long be able to see you all in person, old friends, and of course, new friends alike, you again are very much with us every day. So this is a lovely time during now the upcoming Easter season, which is another very powerful and auspicious time of the year to spend some time together in this satsang. The topic is the Guru's love is unchanging. And I wanted to begin with a very sweet and true story of the time that Master was just beginning to fill the largest halls in the land. This was in the 20s and 30s. And there was a disciple that attended his lecture on the East Coast. Perhaps it was New York, maybe Boston. And he was absolutely astounded that the entire lecture that Master was giving, he was speaking to him. And then karmically, for whatever unknown reason, he lost sight of Master. And for 25 long years, he was wondering where he was. He was unable to contact him and had no idea that he had moved across the country to California and established a work there. Well, as it turned out, shortly before Yogananda passed from this earth, this man was able to come and spend some time with Master. And he said, 25 years ago, I attended your lecture and you just kept your eyes on me the entire time. You were talking to me. And what did Master say? He said, I remember. There's another very sweet story of this bond between guru and disciple and the unchanging love. There was a wonderful soul that lived in Mexico City. And he would come from time to time as he was able to visit Master. And Master had said to him upon his arrival that he had lost sight of him for some incarnations, but that wouldn't happen ever again. And so when this sweet and devoted soul would come from time to time to Mount Washington, he would remind Master, remember your promise. Remember your promise. You'll never lose sight of me. And Master says, yes, I remember. This was Senor Coron that led the Mexico City center at that time in the 50s, perhaps in the 40s. Well, there are so many inspiring stories we know from our own lives, and of course the lives of the direct disciples that have the privilege to spend time with Master. But nevertheless, karmically, I feel that over the incarnations, we all pretty much take turns spending time with the Guru in person, there at the Guru's feet. And then there are those times when the guru has left and now adorns the subtle astral worlds. Of course, he's there with us now, all the great saints, of course, being omnipresent, this is their experience. And yet, for us, we find more and more as our attunement deepens, as our meditation deepens, that the Guru truly resides in our hearts. Jyotish and Devi are international spiritual directors, who, of course, many of you have met and come to India periodically. They were with Swami many, many years ago. I believe this was in Gurgaon. And Swami was having breakfast. And so they thought to take the opportunity to ask this question, a very deep question, that Swami, they said, tell me in just a few words. He was having his breakfast. The real essence of the spiritual path for you, and please share that with us, because that will inspire us to continue to move forward. And he said, pausing for a moment as he was having his breakfast, he said, depth of meditation and experiencing God as the doer. Depth of meditation gives us that opportunity, that bridge to superconscious attunement with the Guru, with our line of gurus, with the Guru in one another and within ourselves. And then to remember, because this is the bridge that connects our meditation, our ever-growing deeper meditation, to our seva, which is that God is doing everything. And so more and more we find that drinking of that concentrated time with God in meditation and prayer, we begin to find more and more slipping away all of those things that limit us, that give us, this thought that we are a body and a personality, all of these things, which of course are only a part of the dream. And as we meditate more and more deeply and feel the presence of God, then throughout the day, that experience continues to grow. As Yogananda said, meditate deeply and then spend time, if possible, a long time, depending. We all have very busy lives, but some good amount of time after the techniques have been put to the side, just to drink of the depth of the silence that follows meditation. And more we find that silence, as Yogananda said, silence is God. And we begin, as we are able to deepen our meditation and deepen our attunement with the Guru, deepen our seva, that this undercurrent within our own being, the soul itself, is always piping to us out of the regions of deep inner silence, that joy and that love that begin bit by bit to help us to break through this, as Yogananda called, a cosmic hypnosis. He said in a recent video that I was watching, an audio actually, that he said that God feels a little bit bad about what he's done to us, a little bit bad. And he suffers with us. But he doesn't have any way to get us back, because he's given us free will to either to reject him or to accept him. And if we accept him, then it's all fun and joy. And that's what's happening through our meditation, through our seva. We are beginning to relax into this thought that God, through our meditation, through our seva, through our time as we spend with one another in satsang, that truly it becomes a living reality that God is doing everything. And that, as Yogananda said, and it's an astonishing statement, and certainly one to meditate on, that all outer conditions are neutral. And what does that speak of? It's our reaction. And that's why again, the master counsel to be even-minded and cheerful, especially during these harsh times where so many people are lacking the understanding of who they are and where they're going. But those of us that have now grown into this state, and it's taken a long time, as Swami Kriyananda said to Yogananda, have I been your disciple for a long time? He says, yes, a long time. But that's all I'll say. We've been at it for a long time. But now we're getting very, very close, because once we get into the inner life, as we all are, we begin to have that growing determination, that growing faith, and that growing certainty that we're very, very close now to awakening from this dream. And when that deep experience comes to us, which is guaranteed for everyone, then that will be bliss for eternity. And so to remind ourselves again and again that the Guru's love is unchanging. And as he said, I'm in it for the long haul, which I've always appreciated. This is the long haul. And yet, as Swamiji has shared with us, and it's so comforting that there is not one saint that comes back and says anything other than it was infinitely worthwhile, understanding and experiencing as they do that time and space are an illusion, and that we are in God all the time. There was never a point where we were out of God, we were away from God. No, we've always been in that vibration because it's all God. And so we are so fortunate to spend time with one another, whether it's through the medium of Zoom itself. Spending time with one another, of course, is such a blessing and so essential. Satsang, that we find that we begin to see God within ourselves and God in one another more and more every day. It grows on us, the blessing of having Master and the great ones and Swami and one another in our lives. We've worked very hard for this experience as we have in this lifetime. We want to take advantage of that. And as we grow spiritually, we want to continue to grow in our compassion, especially during these very challenging times. This is only a purification that's going on right now, whether it's local or international, which it truly is. It's a purification. And we all know that that's a very important part of the whole process of growing spiritually. Again, we have nothing to gain. We're realizing that more and more, but we have a lot to give away. And that's where meditation comes in. And that's where seva comes in. So counting our blessings and skipping the rest from Yogananda's most advanced disciple, her wonderful counsel, Gyana Mata, count your blessings, skip the rest. That gives us the real strength, the courage, all that's needed to get through these challenging times, because truly we're here to help. There's many, many people that need the vibrations of peace, of healing powers that we send out, all of that, in order to take their next step in growing spiritually. So again, it's a real joy to be with you all. And though we miss you on another level, you're in our hearts. And so there it is, very, very much so. So now, Roma will speak.
Thank you, Haridas. That was wonderful.
You're welcome.
So I wanted to just go a little bit further on the subject of the Guru's love is unchanging, and indeed it is unchanging. And the beautiful part of it is that we are all changing, and that we're all becoming more and more pure of heart. We're becoming more and more closer to God. We're becoming more and more able to see that each one of us is a child of God, and that we are acting in a way that Divine Mother can flow through us, and that the Guru is always with us. And life is challenging. I was just again listening to a talk of Swamiji's, and he said, you can't really open your heart to God until you and become a true renunciate unless you make sacrifices. And that means that the sacrifice of our egos, of our likes, of our dislikes, of our the sacrifice of our personalities, the sacrifice of saying yes to life when you want to say no, the sacrifice of giving when you really don't feel like it, of saying the right thing and the nice thing and when you really don't feel like it and you've been hurt, the sacrifice of forgiving unconditionally people that have betrayed you perhaps, or that you feel that life is unfair. The Guru is there because he reminds us that a pure heart, as Christ said, will see God. And it's so important during these times. Swamiji went to the Song of the Morning Ranch, and they asked him the question. This is a community that was it's in the Midwest, and Oliver Black, who was one of Yogananda's chief disciples, they were asking Swamiji after Ananda had been in existence for 20 years. They said, how did you do it? What did you do? And he said, all I did was listen to my guru. I would meditate and I would try to follow his guidance to the utmost. And sometimes I failed, and sometimes it didn't go right. And everybody had their ideas. And there was in the beginning a lot of ideas, so there was a lot of conflict. But I didn't let it dissuade me. I just went inside as deeply as I possibly could. And I listened to the Guru's voice and had him and his love guide me. And now, we're celebrating 100 years of Swamiji's life this year. And Ananda is all over the world. But in the early days, it wasn't easy. Just as it's not easy to start a center or have a meditation group or start anything in the name of the Guru. You will come up with a lot of resistance, and from your own Guru bias too. But if you can just let go of the thought, I need to get my ideas across. I'm the one that's important. I'm the one. No, it's the Guru. If we all refer to the Guru always, his grace will flow through us. And Swamiji also said, he said, if you're just one or two people and you're in your houses and you're meditating, that's good. You can affect a few people. But when you come together as a spiritual family and meditate together and serve together, he said there's a powerful wave of magnetism of love that goes out into the world. And he said he thinks that's why Swamiji, Master wanted to start spiritual communities, because that is the antidote to all of this violence and all of this negativity and all of this hatred. Divine love and the Guru are the blessing that is going to help change the world. It's the Guru is always with us, no matter what we're doing, no matter how our karma is affecting us, no matter how depressed we get, no matter how much life is coming down on us, that it's not easy, and there's conflict in our families maybe, and in our workplace and with our children or whoever. Swamiji told this amazing story, and this is a story that really shows the Guru's protection, the Guru's love for his disciple. And Shankara, who Swamiji thought might have been Yogananda in a previous incarnation, he was a disciple of Babaji. Not at that point. He became a disciple later. But this, he was a very famous astrologer, Shankara was. And he went to visit Babaji, and one of Babaji's workers that were living in the house, the cook, or one of the people that were serving at the Babaji's ashram where he was, Shankar said, well, he said, could you tell me my reading? I want to know, do you have any advice, this great astrologer, Shankar? And he said, yes. And he looked at his chart and he said, well, you're going to die. You're going to die in 24 hours. And so the man was horrified, and he just thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to, I can't believe that. That's too shocking of a reading. And so so Shankara left, and this man said, well, I'll go to my guru. And so Babaji was his guru. And so Babaji said, that's nonsense. You're not going to die. And he said, well, Shankara said he's the most famous astrologer in India. And he said, you're not going to die. And so that night, there was a terrible lightning storm. And Babaji laid down on top of this man all night long, just laid down on top of his body, laid down and protected him from this lightning that was going on. And then the karma passed. And in the morning, the man was alive. He said, you're alive. And when I heard that story, I thought, what deathless love the guru has for his disciple. What amazing love that we are privy to, that we have in our lives, because we have taken that step of making the sacrifice of a worldly life and stepping into the spiritual realm, the spiritual life. But we're doing it with the protection and the guidance and the love and the support of the guru. That's who's with us now. And he will never forsake us. He would do anything to mitigate our karma. He takes 50% of our karma. Just like Babaji did that man, you're not going to leave your body tonight. Don't worry. So we don't need to worry. We don't need to worry. Swami always told us, stop worrying. It's all going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And when you read the news and you look at the situation in the world today, you think, well, you're just hiding your head in the sand. You're not being practical. But it's the most practical thing to depend on the guru. It is the most practical thing that we can do in every aspect of our life. And when we come together as disciples and devotees in our spiritual family, and we support one another, we meditate together, and we chant, and we help one another, we care about one another's lives. This is the vibration of love that we incarnated to experience in this world so that we could be instruments for that love. And there's so much power in the Guru's spiritual family. The Guru loves us so much. He wrote a beautiful letter to his a disciple, and they printed it in East West Books, East West magazine. And I just want to read it to you. And this is from Master to his disciples. To my friends, he said, and he's our dearest friend. To my friends in all lands and all worlds, greetings and goodwill. Wherever you are, whoever you are, of whatever color, race, or creed, I send you my love and the pledge of my loyalty. You who for thousands of years, or for only a day, have worked and fought for justice, freedom, and truth, receive my gratitude and devotion. You who dwell in palaces or hovels, in cities or jungles, in mansions or dungeons, if in your hearts there is the urge toward higher, better living and loftier ideals, believe me when I say, I am your friend, and that I count you blessed friends of mine. Many of you I have known in the past, and some of you I have never seen, but I think that in God's appointed time, I shall meet each one of you face to face and give you proof of my affection. However, it matters little that we are not together now, nor does it matter that time and space may separate us by almost infinite distances. The only thing that counts is that we are friends, working together in a common cause, the cause of righteousness, and the expansion of the consciousness of the children of the Most High. Although I see you not, I often feel your presence near, or thrill with the noble thoughts which you send out to find their home in minds attuned to yours. Although you may never read the words which I am penning now, I declare to you that you shall feel the vibrations of tenderness and kindliness which emanate from me to all of you. Our work, our love, our purpose are one. March on, dear friends, to higher, brighter goals. Continue in your drama of happier days. Continue in your dreams of happier days and in your deeds of service to your kind. Protect the torch of faith from winds of doubt, and let no storm disturb your peace of mind. Farewell, dear friends of mine, until we meet. And it's just so touching, and that's for each one of us. And we talk about Ananda and our spiritual family and our guru, but Divine Mother is the guru. God is the guru. And every soul on this earth is going to find freedom eventually. Once the karma and this drama is played out in each one of our lives, our souls are already in a state of perfection and connected to Divine Mother. We can't forget that. The personality is nothing. In the next life, we'll have a different personality. The personality is a coat we put on to deal with the karma that we've created in this world and how to operate in this material world. That's the only thing. So if you dislike somebody for their personality, don't. Go to their soul. Remember that we are children of Divine Mother. She is our mother, and she is there, and she has sent us our guru. And now our guru, we have a mother and a father and a friend. He addressed this letter to my friends. And often Swamiji would tell us it's much more important to think of God as a friend. You can think of the God as the mother or the father or expansion or whatever. But as a divine friend, what is friendship? Friendship, we would do anything for our friends. We would give our friends everything we have in order to help them. We would laugh with our friends and we cry with our friends and we live our lives for our friends. And so when you think of the guru, think of him as a divine friend because his love is unchanging. It always has been, and it always will be. Swamiji said that when he was in seclusion, all he did when he was in seclusion, in this one seclusion, was to meditate and to feel the presence of his guru, talk to his guru, listen to his guru, read his guru's books, but mostly meditate and feel that love inside of his heart. And he came, Vijay was with him in India once when Swamiji was in seclusion for, I think it was 6 weeks. Maybe it was even longer. And Vijay was cooking for him and staying. But he said Swamiji would come down the stairs and his face would be radiant with light, just brilliant with divine love. And that he wasn't even in his body. He was just so filled with his guru's love. And Vijay said he didn't even want to talk to him because he didn't want him to disturb the bliss that Swamiji was feeling. But that's for us. Swamiji is an example for us. We too have that bliss inside. Even though we have responsibilities, even though we live in this world, it's okay. Let what comes of itself, let it come. We earned it. We created some situation in the past that created our life. It's okay. Don't worry. Cling to the guru and have him help you with every single problem that you have, every challenge, everything, every joy. Give it all to the guru because what a blessing. We don't want to let this incarnation pass without at least recognizing that we have a divine friend that is going to help us find the freedom of soul that we're looking for in this life. We don't want to waste this life. And when we meditate and when we pray to the Guru, bring the vibration of love that you feel into this world. And when I say that, it doesn't mean just chanting Om for world peace. And we should pray for world peace, but peace in your home, peace in your heart, peace with the people that God has sent to you in this lifetime to be able to love unconditionally, to learn how to forgive, to really be kind when it's hard. That's bringing the Guru into your life, because the Guru is kindness itself. The Guru is divine love itself. The Guru is God. And his love is unchanging, but our challenge is to have our love be unchanging for the Guru and for God and for one another. That's our challenge in this life. And what a beautiful challenge. So the mundane life will always be there, but to brighten it and enliven it and spiritualize it and to bring light into this mundane life, what a joy to be aware that we actually have the means, the capacity as disciples, and a guru to help us change this world and to change ourselves. So Haridas and I, we just today, there was a retreat here at the seclusion retreat. And Jyotish and Devi led the retreat. They're the spiritual directors of Ananda Worldwide. And the retreat was for all the young people. Everybody, Haridas and I didn't get to go to the retreat. It was for all the young people, like under 50. And there were many of them were here. And so Haridas and I, we cooked for them. And we cooked lunch, and then we cooked dinner, and the staff here, we all served them. It was really wonderful. But the question that Jyotish and Devi asked them was, what will you do when we're no longer here? It's just like, how will you keep Ananda going? How will you deepen your spiritual life? How will you carry Master's work forward in your life and in Ananda and in this world? What would you do? And the response and the suggestions and the creativity and the spirit of joy was wonderful. It was just wonderful. We weren't in the meeting because they didn't want our ideas, I guess. They wanted us to cook. So but when they came out for the meals, it was so beautiful. And I just thought of you guys in Bangalore, in India. I just thought, wow, this is what's going on all over the world with Master's disciples. It's like when Swami left, what are we going to do when Swami leaves? Well, this is what we're doing. And we're creating this inspiring way to live with divine love and attuning ourselves to the Guru. That's the bottom line of all of the things that we're going to do when we're gone. It's the attunement to the Guru. The Guru can work through us when we have a pure heart. And a pure heart is just a heart that wants God above everything else. That's all. So many dear souls here, so many dear souls in India, all over the world. Jyotish and Devi just gave a talk online, and there were hundreds and hundreds of people from all over the world, every continent. What's happening? Master has disciples. Master has instruments. That's what's happening. We're all offering our lives to God, and so He's able to work through us. And there's so much joy in that, and so much comfort knowing that we are helping one another from the astral world, and right now, each one of us. So we just are very, very grateful to have spent 14 years in Bangalore and 5 or 6 years with Swami in Delhi and Gurgaon, and to know all of you, because next time if we have to come back, we'll be in India and you'll be in America. Who knows? we're just souls traveling along this path of soul freedom and helping one another along the way. So thank you for inviting us to talk to you tonight, and we love you very much, and God bless you all.